You are tuned in to Kids
In the Pit!
That girl, give me a chance. Let's go slam dance. We'll dress like Blue Pearl. Just you and me, punk rock girl.
Hey guys, it's Gabe from the Kids in the Pit podcast. Today I'm joined by Joe Genaro from the band The Dead Milkmen. Thanks so much for joining me. Can I ask you some stuff about your career in music?
Sure.
Okay. So what do you do in The Dead Milkmen?
I play the guitar and
Nice.
I help write songs for them.
Cool. So what year did The Dead Milkmen start? How old were you? And are you still in an active band?
The Dead Milkmen started as a band that played shows in 1983 when I was 20 years old. It was July 1983.
So
Yes, we are still active. We took a break, about a 13-year break, starting in
so
95, but then we got together in 2008.
nice. July is coming up in pretty soon, so it's almost exactly 40 years old. So,
Good point.
do you have a favorite Dead Milkman song?
I don't really have a favorite song. I enjoy playing a lot of them. I enjoy playing the song Serrated Edge, Bitchin' Camaro, Punk Rock Girl.
Yep, that's the only one I know.
Oh, okay.
So, how did you and your band come up with the band name? Like, did you grow up with a milkman delivering milk that died or something?
No, we did have a early when I was way too young to remember. There was a milkman. But I came up with a name because I wanted, even before the band existed, I came up with the idea for the band and I wanted something that sounded punk, yet also kind of countrified or rural, or for some reason I thought Milkmen,
Yeah.
because they don't exist anymore. I called them Dead, and Dead sound like a good punk band name.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
didn't know about the Dead Kennedys yet, but when I did find out about them, I didn't change our name. I said we're gonna stay
Oh.
the Dead Milkmen.
Yeah, because when I listened to Punk Rock Girl, to me it sounded like a mixture between like kind of like country-ish, well, but also like punk rock.
Yeah, some people call it cowpunk. The whole idea behind the original concept was I wanted it to be like, what if folk rock became punk rock? So it was like folk punk or punk folk.
Nice. So, what musical things do you do besides the Dead Milkmen?
I play on my own. I play shows that I go under the name Joe Jack Talcum, which was my stage name in the Dead Milkmen. And I also play with our bass player and a friend named Marshall. We call ourselves Dan Jomar, which is just a conglomeration of our first names, Dan, Joe, and Marshall.
Oh, nice. So, what was the first punk show you attended, and how old were you?
I think I was either 18 or 19. It was in early 1982. It was in Philadelphia, where I was going to college at the time. And it was the sadistic exploits, autistic behavior, decontrol, the Stickmen, and maybe another band I can't remember. And it was at Elks Center, which is like an Elks Lodge in
Cool.
South Philly.
What are some of your favorite bands to see live?
Oh wow. Um, I love to see the Mega Year. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're a punk rock band from the Lehigh Valley. They put on a really energetic, fun show. Um, I've seen them a number of times. I could see them forever. I also like to see the Violent Femmes. I first saw them in 1983 in Philly. And every time I've seen them, they are terrific. I've seen them probably half a dozen times. The Dead Milkmen even had the opportunity to play a show with them in Arizona.
Oh, nice.
So those are probably my two favorites, but I love to see shows.
So, what is your favorite place you've toured in, and what's the most obscure place you've toured in?
Probably my favorite is New York City. I just love the energy there. I also like Los Angeles, and pretty much I like anywhere we're playing a show. But I always remember getting excited when we travel from Philly to New York City and just coming into the city, especially when it's in Manhattan. Although these days we play in Brooklyn a lot more than Manhattan. But that was always exciting to me in my young days. I'll probably say New York City rather over Los Angeles because it's closer and we play there more often. But Los Angeles has a lot of energy and excitement to it too.
Cool. Okay. So, what's the most obscure place you've toured in?
Probably the state of Alaska. Yeah. I played about 8 shows in Alaska as a solo artist with a pickup band. And that's just such an out of the way place to get to. I mean, we flew in. There's only 2-lane roads and travel for 10 hours to get to the next city.
Oh, wow.
Just nothing much in between, it seems. And we were very well appreciated because not that many bands from the mainland come there, they tell us.
Yeah, I really want to go to Alaska
Oh, you
someday.
should definitely go to Alaska.
Yeah.
See the glaciers. It's beautiful there. But I would say that's the most obscure.
I wouldn't want to go in the winter though, because
No, and we went in July.
okay, yeah.
The days were very long, and it's strange to come out of a bar at 2 a.m. and see people playing volleyball in the sun. That's another weird thing.
Yeah.
In the winter, it'll be dark all the time.
Mm-hmm. Because it's so north.
Yeah, because it's so north.
Mm-hmm. So, do you have any crazy tour stories you want to share?
And this happened, I think, in 1992 in Arizona while we were on our way from one show to another in Arizona. I think we were going from Tucson to Phoenix or something. Not very far. They're pretty close. As we were turning into the hotel we were booked at, we got pulled over by the police. And it wasn't just one car, it was a bunch of cars surrounding our van. We were in our brown tan van. And I was asleep. I got woken up by someone in the van saying we're being arrested. And the police had the van surrounded, and they had people at gunpoint pointed at us, and they had us on a megaphone. One of the police officers gave us instructions to come out of the van one at a time, starting with the person in the passenger seat. Well, they got the driver and then the passenger seat. And each person came out of the van and had to turn around with their hands up in the air, and then they would get handcuffed. And when it came to me, I was the last person out. They apparently didn't have any handcuffs anymore. So they put me in the back of one of the squad cars. And I didn't understand couldn't understand why we were being detained or arrested. But I started to hear things on the radio in the squad car and started to put things together that they were looking for somebody who stole a bunch of TVs, and they were in a van, and that I guess it was a mistake. It was definitely a case of mistaken identity. So I stopped panicking so much, and eventually it all got sorted out. But it was just something that I never had a gun pointed at me before that by the police.
Yeah.
And Dave, when he when he did his little turnaround, he did a little dance, and I thought that was crazy of him. And I asked him later on why he did that, and he said, "Oh well, they couldn't do anything to me. What could they do? What are they going to do? Shoot us?"
Yeah.
This was back in the early '90s. These days, I would definitely not dance around. I would not do anything funny if the police had guns at me.
Yeah, it's a really scary story. Wow.
And crazy.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite type of food from another country?
Favorite type of ooh. The Philippines, I like chicken adobo. Have you ever had that?
Nah,
Adobo.
I haven't.
It's like chicken thighs boiled in like soy sauce and vinegar and served over rice. It's really, really good. And pepper, a lot of pepper.
Cool. Yeah, I'll have to try it.
Yeah. It's really easy to make and delicious.
Cool. So, what was your favorite TV show and movie when you were my age?
And how old are you?
11.
So I would have been in 6th grade. And when I was in 6th grade, I really liked Saturday nights. I would watch TV from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I have to stay up late. My favorite show on the Saturday night, and it would all be on the same channel, and it started off with All in the Family, I think. But the show I liked the best was called The Bob Newhart Show. And there are two different Bob Newhart shows, but this is the one where Bob Newhart is a psychologist or psychiatrist. I forget which one. But he did bits where he would talk on the phone and you wouldn't hear the other side of the conversation, but there was always something fun. It was a funny show. I liked it.
Nice.
Have you ever
So-
seen
No, I haven't.
it?
So, would you rather travel to the future or to the past for one day, if you have, and also you have no chance of dying or messing anything up?
That's a tough question because I'd like to do both. Because I could travel to the past and settle an argument, but I also could travel to the future just to find out what's going to happen. So maybe I could do something about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could travel to the future and look at the stock market, for example, maybe, and see the price of a particular stock. Is it higher or lower? And then I could make if it's a lot higher than it is right now, I could invest in it.
Yeah.
And make a lot of money.
Yeah. That's smart.
So maybe I will say the future.
So, if you could tell your 11-year-old self anything at all, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to be true to himself. It's better to be true to yourself rather than to change yourself to fit in and to be accepted. In the long run, you'll have a happier life that way. And also treat each other with respect and dignity. Whether you agree, you don't have to agree with everybody you meet, but even if you disagree, be respectful of each other.
Nice. So, anything to add before we wrap it up?
No, but except thank you for taking the time to talk.
Yeah, thanks for being on the show.
You're welcome, Eve.
Yeah. So thanks to Joe for joining me today, and thanks to all of you for watching or listening. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Spotify and other streaming platforms. Until next week, bye!